Hello everyone, Douglas Waltz, Old Man Comic Books. We have a stack, so we'll be here for a minute. First issue of the Green Lanterns All In. This is number 16, but All In is the new thing. We're all in, we're going to follow the rules. So, let's see. Writer is Jeremy Adams, artist is Zermanico, and there were things going on, I guess, during the All-In. I have no idea. I bought 0 of them. But you know what? This is the Green Lanterns. Star Sapphire's in there. Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, John Stewart, doing what they do best, beating up evil aliens. Artwork is really, really nice. There's some bad guy who's purple? I don't know. He's purple looking. So, Larfleeze is in it, which always makes for a good time. So, yep, and then Sinestro will be in. It's a big fight. It's a fight. It's fun. I had no problem with this. It reminded me of OG Green Lantern out in space fighting monsters. Alright, so issue 25, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, apparently still a vampire. Cody Ziegler is our writer, Federico Vicentini is our artist. Black Panther has shown up with a cool new outfit. It seems like there's a lot of extra gizmos on his outfit. Black Panther never needed those before. So he's there to train Miles in his bloodlust. And Miles gets a new suit. Here, I'll show you the suit. There's the new suit. That's vibranium nanomesh interwoven with an intercoaxial insulated coating. That's a lot. And then the Vulture shows up, and because last issue Miles beat the crap out of him, so Vulture's there for a face-off. Face-off! And then there's a little mini story. Cody Ziegler's our writer. Federico Sabatini is our artist. And there's a new Deadpool. Deadpool's daughter, I guess, meeting up with Miles. Taskmaster shows up for a panel. It's a fun book. It's my wife's idea to get this book. And I said, okay. Oh, excuse me. A new number 1, Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu. Because, you know, Moon Knight, he was dead, and he got better. Writer Jed MacKay, artist Alessandro Cappuccio. It's funny how these all stay exactly the same, and they keep giving us number 1s. I do like the Phases one with the stories. That's kind of cute. So, because of that, and it's a new number 1, we have some backstory, so you know who all the players are. Here comes the air conditioner. I forgot to turn it off. Hold on, folks. There, you see the top of my head? Okay. I turned that off. Alright. Where were we? Moon Knight. Fist of Khonshu. Number 1. Mint. Bagged, boarded. It is not. So, yep, it's Moon Knight throwing his weight around in the gangster underworld, and we'll see what happens next. The whole team's on the next issue cover. I'm glad to see they kept 8-Ball. Characters you'd never think you'd see as a superhero. 8-Ball. 8-Ball. Let me fix my seating. There we go. All better. Old man creaks a little in the morning. Alright, we're almost done with this. One more issue and it's over. The Amazing Spider-Man number 59. Because then we finish up this storyline and we get a whole new storyline with a whole new artist and team and all that stuff. Sounds like, yeah. But I'm looking for the... Zeb Wells is our writer. John Romita Jr. is our penciler. Scott Hanna is our inker. It's literally just Spider-Man and Tombstone beating the crap out of each other for almost every single page. I feel that they've given us less pages. We're going to do a page count. We don't do that very often. And I'm just going to count the pages, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 20 pages, guys. Because I ain't counting these. 20 pages for a $4.99 book. You need to be ashamed. I was interested that they plugged all of the ads in the back. So there's ads in the back, and then there's some spiders and symbiotes thing. I don't know what that is. So we'll see. 20 pages is sort of unforgivable for that price tag. So, here we are. This is a Sonic the Hedgehog annual. I was thrown off because I'm like, well, it's a regular book. Let's get it. And it's not, but that's okay. There are 2 stories. Heroes Calling, story Ian Flynn, pencils Thomas Roth, Liz Berger, inks Rick Mack. Oh, there's 3 stories. Did I say 3? Okay. For My Destiny is story by Yasmin Omar Atta. Art is Adam Bryce Thomas. And then Shattered Diamonds story, pencils by Gigi Dutrix. Then pencils get picked up by Mauro Fonseca on page 11. And then inks are Matt Froze. And then that's a lot of people. Alright. So, yeah. 3 stories. We get stories with our evil little, I think her name's Surge? I don't know. But they said after hers to be continued in Sonic 75, which is coming up. There's a wonderful Knuckles story with this cool artwork that I will share with you. Yes. I like Knuckles. I like someone that is that single-minded and determined. Sonic comes to poke him and give him crap, but you know. And then the last one is my group, the Diamond Cutters, because Lanolin the Sheep is in it. So Lanolin the Sheep is my favorite. But this is a big book. I didn't even look to see what they charged me for. $7.99. That makes sense. It's a thick book. Unlike Amazing Spider-Man 59. No, I'm not letting it go. For your kids out there, I mentioned this last time. This is issue 2 of Sesame Street. This is Bert and Ernie. Bert and Ernie cleaning their house. Written by Stephanie Williams. Pencils and inks by Beth Hughes. It says layouts by Michela Cacciatore. But you had to have had some Sesame Street in your life. And Bert and Ernie, growing up, I had a Bert puppet. It's like this big. And it was just his shirt and then a big rubber head. And when you're a kid and you got a puppet, you tend to use that puppet for just about anything. So I'm very excited because next issue, yes, I read it. Next issue is Cookie Monster's Dinner Party. So this is a great book for your kids. It's $3.99, so they aren't charging the $4.99. A lot of comic books do. Put out by Oni Press. Good for you, Oni. So if you got little ones, they might like that. Here we are, number 2 of 4 of Sergio Aragone's Gru, with this guy, Mark Evanier. I guess he's in it too. And we've been doing minstrel melodies. And it's about Gru saving a group of orphans and finding out he might be a better parent than a lot of people in the world. And sometimes people don't treat children the way that they should. It's a little deep for a Gru book, but that was what I got from it. And no, it's Gru. Gru's been around forever. This is Gru. Best comic, of course, is always his dog Roberto. Gets a single page on the back. No ad, just Roberto. Always with no dialogue, and it's hilarious. Alright. Ultra Mega 6. The Ultra Mega Saga is back. Fast and Furious. James Harren. Harren? 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 Creator, artist, writer. He has a little bit of help from other people, though. When last we left them, our Ultra Mega boy, his father had returned. Well, his head had returned, and they made him a robot. And this is just... It's insane. It's what it is. It's the craziest comic book I think I've read in quite some time. 2000 AD, the British comic book company had one called Nemesis that reminds me a lot of this, but this has a lot less of the Spanish Inquisition in it than Nemesis did. So this is a good time. Ultra Mega. It's a square bound, big book. Mr. Harren does an excellent job with this. Yay! I saved my last two books for being last two so I could complain. Godzilla, Here There Be Dragons 2, Sons of Giants. This is number 4. I think we'll get one more. I do believe it was to be continued. Written by Frank Thierry. Artwork by Inaki Miranda. This time they're rewriting history so that the Aztecs pray to Rodan. We all know, thanks to the Larry Cohen film starring Michael Moriarty, that it would be Quetzalcoatl, not Rodan. I'm sort of getting bored with the rewriting history. I still haven't forgiven him for the Hedora Grendel debacle. And then there's an interesting thing in here where they're talking about the ultimate kaiju battle, and it shows Hedora fighting King Ghidorah. The freaking Smog Monster's not fighting King Ghidorah. Wouldn't happen because they're both. If you remember your Godzilla's, the Smog Monster Hedora is actually from outer space, like King Ghidorah. I don't think that they would fight each other. I really don't. So, and then what happens at the end? I'm just going to tell you. Zillions show up. Zillions show up for the final issue. I'm glad we get so many Godzilla comic books, but not all of them are winners. All right. I got to take this. It says the guys that created it on the cover, so I don't got to take it out again because I really don't want to. I really don't want to open this back up. Here we go, folks. This is the Toxic Avenger, the comic book. Story and art by Matt Boers, Kirk Vanderbeek, and Frank Camuso. They say there's a message from Troma's own Uncle Lloyd Kaufman. I love Uncle Lloyd Kaufman. This book is awful. Okay? This is a terrible comic book. I don't like the look of the Toxic Avenger. The Toxic Avenger is a classic. It's a perfect movie. The first one is a perfect movie. You don't need to rewrite it. Also, once again, I feel that there's no research done when you decide, well, I'll take the basic concept and I'll make it my own. Stop doing that. Because your first mistake was Toxic Avenger's girlfriend. You said Yvonne. Well, then that would make this a Toxic Crusader, not a Toxic Avenger. Yvonne was Toxic Crusader. Toxic Avenger, it was Sarah in parts 1 and 4. They made the misstep in 2 and 3 of Claire. Claire, who we don't talk about if we don't have to. We prefer Sarah, preferably Sarah from the first movie. I understand that they couldn't get her for the 4th movie, but whatever. At least they tried better in the 4th movie than whatever was going on in parts 2 and 3. See, I've recently just watched all 4 of them again. So yeah, Yvonne? Really? So I'll leave this in the bag. Maybe sometime in the future it will be worth a couple of bucks. Kind of hope. At least I hope it's worth more than whatever I got charged for this thing. $3.99. So yeah, this is I don't know what this is. Another thing, Melvin would not have worn a tutu thinking it's fun to impress his girlfriend Yvonne. Yvonne wouldn't have been his girlfriend when he was Melvin Junko. That's just a thing. Plus, it wouldn't have been Yvonne. It would have been Sarah. You got it wrong. Is what I'm trying to say here. Wrong is what you got here. So, this is. I'm warning you now. Do not buy this comic book. It is. If you're a Toxic Avenger fan, if you have no idea who the Toxic Avenger is, and you're like, hey, I could, yeah, whatever. There's so many things wrong with this book that it's not even funny. Oh, and one last thing, Ahoy Comics, this thing you do where you put a short prose story in the back of your books. I'm not reading those. I'm here for comic book. I mean, I understand back in the day, if you put a prose story, you could get magazine rates, which I guess are different than comic book rates. But I think that nowadays that's not a thing anymore. I don't know. If it is and it's saving you a couple of bucks, well, good on you, but I'm still not reading those things. So, all right, there. The complaints are over. Let me get the books out for the count. All right, well, Godzilla's not a superhero. I'm sorry, Ultra Mega's not a superhero. Gru's not a superhero. Sesame Street's not a superhero. Do you want to count Sonic as a superhero this time? Let's do it. Spider-Man, Moon Knight, Miles, Quit, Green Lantern. I'm not putting Toxic Avenger in the count today. So superheroes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So superheroes won again. That's a big stack. Next week, the next show coming up is going to be much shorter. I think it's only like 4 or 5 books, and one of them I don't read, so it'll be super short. All right, so like I always tell you, you can get a comic book to read almost anywhere. You can go to your local comic book shop. They usually have like 50-cent bins you can go through and look for something. They don't all have to be superhero comics. I mean, Godzilla, Gru, Sesame Street, yeah, not a superhero comic book. So there's lots of different choices for you. You can read comic books for free online. Don't forget about there's manga, so you can do that as well. Just all sorts of options for reading a comic book. Go to the library. There's so many of them out there. So once again, remember, do not buy and or read the Toxic Avenger. This is garbage. Other than that, I want you to go out there and read a comic book. I'll see you next time. Bye.